Hello everybody and welcome today to another video. Now, I don't know about you, but when you're scrolling through Instagram, especially if you're seeing like detailing pages and things like that, you always see like these crisp, nice videos of people using these wet vacs on their mats, on the car mats and carpets and seats, and doing nice rows like they've done like when people do it in big gardens with people with big houses. Well, I finally managed to get a wet vac, which the one we're using is the Vax Spot Wash Duo, so it comes with some extra bits if you wanted to do things that aren't as aggressive and dirty. So luckily I'm going to have some attachments for the car and then a separate attachments for the house. But we'll go more into that with that product when we start using it. Yeah, that's the little guy, handy little bugger here, rubber handle on the top. Hopefully it's going to do a good job. We've also got a more traditional method that we're going to try and test up against that, which is the Detailer's shampoo, basically for the interior. So this is an Autoglym interior shampoo, cleans and freshens carpets and upholstery, and we're going to look at the technique with that as well, obviously the differences between the two. So first things first, let's get them out of the car and we'll go and wash it. Disgusting! Just a quick mention that if you wait until the end of today's video, you are in with a chance to win one of these Motorflex air fresheners who are today's sponsor. So stick around and see how you can win one of these for free. Now, before using any of these products, it always recommends that you vacuum the carpets first, so you're not getting any grit and grime being smudged about basically whilst you're trying to clean them. So let's do that first. There we go, looking better already. Now for this test I want to use the dirtiest mat that I've got, which is obviously going to be the driver's mat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a classic partition with some painter's tape, trying to get like similar kinds of dirt on either side. I know it's not a square mat, so I can't do it fully equidistant, that's a big word for me, but we can kind of get it like that. Look at that, how professionals that are not very professional, not very professional. Oh, took them laces in as well. I bet that's driving people crazy. So this to me looks a little bit more dirty as well, especially up this area. So I'm going to do the wet vac on this side and the traditional method on this side, which is what we're going to start with. So like I stated before, I'm using the Autoglym interior shampoo, which to use this, always says as well, test for like colour fastness, that kind of thing, which I think these are going to be absolutely fine. But test it on somewhere that you can't see primarily. But give it a little bit of shake, I ain't got that much left. But it says to spray the area to lightly wet the surface, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to spray in that area and lightly wet that surface. There we go, so it's all covered. It also says if it's a heavily soiled area, don't be disgusting, to also agitate with a damp brush or sponge, which luckily I have a spare sponge here that's a bit damp, so I'm going to do some agitating, which we can see it's getting a bit soapy now, which is what we want. And I agree, before you start, it's a bit aerobical on this sponge. Who needs a sponge this big? Not me, obviously. Now I think that's had a good agitation, which it has fluffed it up quite nicely. Oh god, look at that dirt there. Wow. So it says don't let it dry and rinse off with a clean damp cloth, which I've got this Autoglym cloth that actually came with the kit that this cleaner came from. So we're using the same brand of product just to be extra thorough to rinse it off. And I can already see from wiping it, and it says if you've got right particularly stubborn areas, you can reapply and go again if you want to. But we can already see there, that's the dirt that's coming off that. So it's actually working pretty well, to be fair. It's doing the job, and I'd say probably this is the best outcome I've had from doing this solution previously. I think I've been just a little bit more thorough this time, which that's all it takes sometimes, just a little bit more shall we say, elbow grease. Yeah, that carpet's coming up well. He also says constantly rinse this cloth in clean water and then just keep reapplying it until, well, you'd think until it stops being dirty, but I suppose you could be here all day doing that. It is getting a bit lighter. I'm pretty impressed. So I'm going to happily say that that is now rinsed. So if we're looking at the cloth, plenty of colour change and dirtiness that's come out of there. So that can go in the wash. I've got a bit of red there, but I think that's from, get them edge bits as well. I think that's from being in the pack with another red cloth. Or maybe it's that. Yeah, be careful the edge bit. I think the red comes off a little bit. First impressions, it already looks in loads better condition than this side. Nicely ruffled up as well. It's only this darker bit area that's, to be fair, the fibres are really worn anyway, so I don't know how much better that's going to get. But other than that, for a solution of something that's probably 10 or so pounds, give or take, and you just got to put a little bit of elbow grease in to do it, it's not that bad. Right, so I've had to move slightly because obviously I've had to plug the wet vac inside, so this is as far as I can stretch with this. But if you can see on this side, this is the clean tank, which you can't see right now, but there's some markings that say if you're doing a large clean or you're just doing a spot clean. So I've just gone on for the smaller one for now, where you've got a level for your solution, for your water first, warm water, and another level to top it up to with the solution that comes with this, which is just an upholstery cleaning solution. So that's ready to go now then. So what I'm going to do, if I turn this on now, did I turn the switch on? That'll probably start sucking, so let me just check that that's on. So will that make a noise when I click that? Yeah, so that turns the back side on of it. So first things first, we've got the bristle attachment, which is for carpet. They also do a rubber attachment for hard floor, and then the vacuum section is there, but you've got this squirter here first, which is what we need to do, which will squirt the solution out onto the carpet. Make sure we do the correct side, obviously. So we'll flip that round. So first I'm going to make sure that there's plenty of solution on this. See how that squirts, what's it like? Is it coming? It must be. Or does it need to be on? I feel like it needs to be on. Like a continuous squirt. I thought it was going to be like a spray gun, but no, it's a continuous squirt. Then you can scrub the carpet with your solution. I suppose it depends how you want to be in terms of how much product you use. I don't know what's the best amount at the minute. It doesn't feel that damp, so I'm going to put a bit more on. Might be an overkill, but I just want to make sure it works. I feel like I'm shampooing a dog. Really, this is a bit more elbow grease than the other technique. Now we get to put it on a slight angle so that the brush is off the carpet, but the flat edge picks everything up, basically. So let's give that a go. Wow, that is so cool seeing all that dirty water being sucked up into there. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit for you so you can see it when I do this second run. Wow, so you can see that dirty water still ready to drip back out. I've just seen it going through all this tube, which means you should be collecting it in this side here. I hope you can see, if I get a bit of a jiggle, that's the dirty water that's in that side of the tank now, and we've still got plenty of clear solution left to go. So I think we might be able to do all of these mats just on the smaller amount, which is good. but you could see the amount of dirt that was going up into that vacuum then. I wonder how much different it's going to be when we take that tape off. Obviously there's going to be a dirty line in the middle, and I might have a little bit of extra scrubbing on the go for that bottom corner there, but other than that, I'm pretty impressed. Pretty impressed indeed. So we've done both sides now. We've got the wet vac side and we've got the traditional sponge method. I'm going to take this off and I'd say let's have a look at the difference, but obviously you've got a bit of a dirty line in the middle, but looking at it, it is hard to tell until you get very close up. The one thing I will say is feeling these fibres, they're fluffy, they're clean. The amount of brown black water that was going into that vacuum was alarming, to be fair, and I feel like if I went over this side with the vacuum again, I'm probably going to pick up a lot more dirt as well. So it's still a little bit of a dusty red on this side. It does still feel a bit quite fluffy. If anything, this feels drier, but obviously there's been a bit less of an amount of solution that goes on there, and we've dried it off with a cloth. Other than that, they do both feel quite clean. Obviously, maybe on like a white carpet, you could probably see the difference more. I can still see like small like dirt granules and things in this side compared. This warm patch here, that did come up really well compared to what it looked like. And I did go in this corner a bit more where it was really dirty, and that's nearly gone, to be fair. So that's worked really well, which I don't think the other solution would have worked as well in that corner. So in terms of the pros and cons for both, cheapness goes to, well, price range, the Autoglim is near enough roughly 10 times cheaper than that specific wet vac. So Autoglim works on price. In terms of cleanliness, the wet vac wins it hands down. Nothing physical has really been picked up from here other than the dirt on the top layer, whereas deep down into the fibres on this side, the wet vac has pulled everything out, and I feel like it's going to last a little bit longer being nice and fluffy and rejuvenated. So in terms of a deep clean, the wet vac wins that one. In terms of ease, in the long term, I'll probably say the wet vac. I know you've got to set it all up and put the solution in and everything, but once it's up and ready to go, that's it. I don't need to do anything else other than turn that on, do some scrubbing with it with the spray, and then vacuum that up, and I can just carry on doing that for the rest of the other 3 mats. Whereas with that, I'm probably going to have to rinse that sponge out again. I'm going to have to wring that cloth out again. When I've probably done 2 mats, I'm going to probably need to use another cloth. Then when all that's done, that cloth, all those cloths and everything are going to have to be washed in the washing machine, whereas the wet vac has a self-cleaning procedure that you put just warm water in and it just cleans the device itself. So ease of use also goes to the vacs. You've also got the benefit of the wet vac can be used anywhere else in your house, on upholstery or on your carpet, whereas I bet it'd be a bit of a ball ache trying to use the spray all over your living room carpet and getting all that up. I've also just had a quick look from a distance and had a look in the camera. This does look lighter. I think it's just the angle that I'm looking at it from above, but when I stand back, yeah, this does look like a lighter colour as well, which to me says it's got a little bit less grit in there, bringing that carpet back to its former glory. So verdict wise, what would I say? If I had the choice from the get-go from either, and obviously money wasn't involved, then I'd go with the vacs. I'd go with the wet vac every single time. In terms of budget, which I've owned this car for like 6 years now, and I've only just managed to get one of these, so the other solution is definitely suitable and capable of doing what you need to do, but this just the wet vac just gives that extra deep clean. But they are my thoughts on the situation, and I'm sure you've done with my rambling and seeing me talk with my hands because the camera angle is shocking. So that is that then. That's the verdict, and well, the verdict of my opinion on the matter. Put in the comments below whether you agree with me, whether you've had better solutions that you've used, whether you hate wet vacs and prefer that more traditional method, or whether there's something that I could have done to make it a better test or use the equipment better. just let me know in the comments, because obviously I want to make stuff like this as fair as possible, and it's something that I've always been interested in to find out. So hopefully this helps you make a decision on what you want to spend your money on and what method you want to go down. Now if you did enjoy this video, or if you enjoy any of my other videos, be it stuff like this or modifications, car shows, whatever it is, please like and subscribe to the channel and click that little bell button so it reminds you when a fresh video does come on. It's nice to be back. It's nice to have some nice weather as well. I'm hoping you will have enjoyed the previous video, which was like the first video I've done coming back this year at Autosport. If you haven't gone and checked that out, it was a really fun time. Me and my dad really did have a laugh. So, and it's a bit longer than the previous videos I've been doing at the end of last year. A nice chunky video for you for a change. So yeah, go and give that a gander if you haven't looked already. So I'm going to leave it here. Thank you all for watching again, guys, and until next time, like I always say, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye. 1 minute. Instead of a chop, classic chop, why don't you just watch a little bit more wet vac ASMR, shall we say? Now then, before you do go, if you remember me mentioning earlier on in the video about today's sponsor, which is Motorflex, they've kindly sent me a couple of air fresheners, one for me to use and one to give away for you guys, which I thought were a nice thing. So I thought, yeah, go on then, let's do that. Let's do that so that you can get something gifted, like I've been gifted something. So if you're looking at that product and thinking, that's quite nice packaging, that's got some instructions on the back that tell me exactly how to do it, so I'm not going to make it leak all over my car. The bottle doesn't look weird, it actually looks quite nice. And for some strange reason, I trust Lewis when he's saying that things like this actually smell quite nice. Which, talking about the smell, the one that you can win is tobacco and vanilla, which sounds a bit strange, but it's like a less intrusive smell of vanilla, if that makes sense. It's just a bit more like nice and breathable, shall we say, rather than just being like, you like vanilla, you better. And it's not like that. So if you do want the chance to win one of these, all you need to do is go on the reel that I've put on my Instagram, and number one, like the reel, so like the post. Number two, follow me on Instagram for one, even though that's two. And number three, share it on your story and tag me in the story as well, so that it notifies me. Because I've noticed on Instagram, if you share somebody else's stuff, it doesn't potentially notify me if somebody shares like one of my posts sometimes. I don't know why. So make sure you tag me on there as well and share that reel on your Instagram story. I'd like for it to go across onto Facebook as well, and I know there's people that, some people only use Facebook, some people don't use Instagram. I've tried to use the best platform I can for this kind of interaction. My Facebook and my Instagram are linked, but I don't understand the whereabouts with when I post a reel, it doesn't really post on my Facebook page as a video for some reason. I don't know how you make those two links. So it is only Instagram, unfortunately, for this one. So yeah, do all those three things that I'll mention in the comments and in the caption for the reel, the post as well. And good luck. I'll get about a week or so, and then I'll go live in some way or form and do it like that. Thank you all again for watching. I won't go through all the spiel again because I've already said all that. And yeah, I'll see you next time.